Xavier Leonard. I'm coming to this conference because, I direct a program called Heads on Fire, and we're very much concerned with working with communities and training people in producing media that is about their lives or about issues that they're concerned with. And I find it very interesting to think of wireless spectrum as this new site for the distribution of independently produced or for community produced media. I look at this new opportunity and also think about the other parts of the spectrum. For example, the spectrum that is involved with TV or radio, which once looked like they could be ideal areas for distributing independently produced content, and they turned out not to be because of regulations. So I think it's very important for people who are interested in this independent production and community-driven production to be involved and engaged in ensuring that this part of the spectrum, or this site, this wireless site, remains something that can be vital for people as a distribution outlet. Heads on Fire, in terms of the training program, our main emphasis really is on thinking about what we do as digital media artists, which are all the people who are involved in being instructors or really even volunteers almost throughout Heads on Fire. People are coming from a standpoint of being some sort of digital media specialist or generalist multimedia developer. So we bring those skills and those tools into the programs that we develop and the communities that we work with, but we don't really think about it so much in terms of the production. We really view what we do as being an opportunity mostly for the community or the individual even to have a time to reflect upon what they know as individuals or as a group, and to really kind of find a way to valorize that, to kind of take pride in it. And then the media products that get produced are really just kind of documenting that discovery process. And we think that is, in that way, we're kind of fulfilling the function that art and art making has played in more traditional societies and traditional communities where, for example, if someone was learning a dance to be a part of their initiation or a rite of passage ceremony, then it's not about becoming a great dancer, but about how learning that dance, which is what your mother learned and what your grandmother learned, what your great grandmother learned, what that tells you about yourself and about the people in your community, and gives you an opportunity to feel pride and self-knowledge in that. And when we've taken art making sort of out of our daily existence, then we lose that part, that kind of communal reflective process. And so our work, which does result in digital stories, as well as photo text pieces and photographs and really kind of any kind of design-based media is what we try to help people make. But it's really the process of getting this community reflection happening and then using those tools to document that process. We had a program where we're working with middle school age students, and we're working with the school counseling staff. So we're working with people who had been some sort of trauma, and sometimes related to that, and sometimes for other reasons. They also tended to be students who were pretty disengaged from the standard school practice. So a lot of students who felt alienated and, as often as not, didn't even show up for school. So those were the people that we were working with. And we found that by giving them this opportunity to go through this reflective practice and then make pieces about things that they decided, this is what I know, and this is what it's important for me to let other people know, right? Which is a way for them to value themselves and then visually represent the value that they see in themselves and the value in what they believe. We then use those products, those media products, as a way to let those people who had been alienated from their schools and kind of the standard socialization process, to let them re-engage themselves with that, because we always do community forums, right, for people who are peers. So in this case, we did a series of presentations for the entire school, and the students that work with us, who might not in the past have been inclined to get up before an audience and say, okay, this is what I believe is important about avoiding being involved with gangs or violence or anything like that, because they'd gone through this process of reflecting and sort of valorizing what they believe, and then they had these documents that they could use as a conduit for speaking to other people, so they could show their pieces, and then they were open to sort of speak the truth about what they believe, and have an influence as student leaders on their peers. So I really saw in that program specifically, how you can move people from being kind of disengaged and sort of alienated to actually taking positions of leadership, just by giving them the opportunity to reflect on the fact that they do know something, they do have something to share, and have them gain an appreciation for that, and give them the vehicle by which they can share that with others. I am a big fan of Firefox. I think it's a great solution, particularly for people who are PC based. I also celebrate a number of other browsers, but I really appreciate Firefox. And one of the reasons I appreciate it is not just because what it can do, but again, thinking about the free and openness that's sort of a part of Firefox, and how people can participate in the development process, that community of Firefox enthusiasts is really important in making it a great tool for people.